What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the holiday edition, week 15 roster update. What does that mean? Well, nothing special, but happy holidays regardless. We're going to get right into it. Bit of a shorter week, shorter update this week. No studs and duds this week. We're going to get right into the risers, starting with the Jaguars. No surprise, Keelan Cole really putting up some numbers the last few weeks, getting an opportunity now with some injuries ahead of him to Hearns, Lee, and obviously Allen Robinson. But Keelan Cole starting to make a name for himself, a guy we had to create earlier this year, and yet another receiver coming out of absolutely nowhere, Jaden Mickens, getting created here, 66 overall. Didn't necessarily see anything too special in what was, a 3-touchdown performance. Nice opportunity, nice stats, but let's see a little more on film. A little undersized as well, but there might be something there. You never know. After all, Allen Hearns was one of these guys not too long ago. This might as well be the Jaguars' week to get updated. Obviously, a team I was really low on coming into the year, so maybe throughout the year, more and more guys that I have to raise as they have been the biggest surprise of the year, at least to me. Blake Bortles goes up +2 this week. Some people might even think he should be higher. I'm not going to freak out to a few good weeks. We've seen a lot of Blake Bortles, and I think it's going to come back to bite them in the playoffs, but he does go up 2 this week. On the edge, we got Yannick Ngakoue. Still not buying him as a true number 1 edge rusher. Is putting up some real good numbers, though, and I could be wrong about him, and he could continue to develop. He's only 22 years old, but he goes up +2. How he performs in the playoffs against playoff offenses, offensive lines, really scheming around this pass rush is going to be very telling for the future of Yannick Ngakoue, I believe. And then staying in that AFC South, we've got JADEVEON CLOWNEY finally moving up. He's going to go up +3 this week, really producing for a Texans team that has been just deflated this year. But Clowney proving that he is a superstar in this league, so he gets that 90 mark, which if you remember, my tiering, 90 is that beginning of the superstar tier. So the former number 1 overall pick with the ceiling out of the building has finally started to reach his true potential there as far as my roster is concerned. And then much less known player is going to be Nick Kwiatkowski for the Bears. He's been starting there at middle linebacker due to the injury to Jarrell Freeman, playing good run defense. Second-year player out of West Virginia. Some decent athleticism as well, a guy that could develop into the long-term starting middle linebacker here for the Bears. For the Redskins, we got Junior Gillette going up +1 yet again, continuing to be a factor on this defense, a guy that has had a long road to get back into the NFL, used to be a very good player, and he's only 29, returning to form a little bit. And sticking with the linebackers, consistent theme here so far. In Cincinnati, we got some movement. So Nick Vigil is actually going to be falling 3 this week. Now, he's hurt right now, didn't play last week, but his ratings have been very bad as far as PFF is concerned this year. And he has probably effectively lost his starting job to Jordan Evans, a rookie out of Oklahoma, who goes up +2 this week. And Jordan Evans, a guy who, now that he has that starting job, just might continue to grow and become a starter going into next year as a rookie. And then another linebacker here for the Vikings, Anthony Barr, getting a little bit of love here, going way back. I've never been a huge Anthony Barr guy. I think he's kind of a tweener in the football sense of the word, an outside linebacker, an edge rusher in college, a guy that never really fully found himself comfortable as more of a cover linebacker, but while he's not been spectacular this year, he's definitely been an impact on that defense. So good in pursuit and really limiting big plays. I still think he's going to struggle a lot in terms of the fine details. I don't think he plays very tight coverage, and I don't think he fills running lanes as well as, frankly, he should. But he has at least been pretty serviceable there. After last year, it was a question of if he was going to be a staying part of this defense. I think it is now pretty sure that he will be on this team for a while as he nears his contract sometime soon. We got Christian McCaffrey going up +2, really showing a lot in that Panthers game. They're starting to use him a little more between the tackles, which is nice to see, but still that receiving ability going to be the key here for McCaffrey. You can see the catch ratings, everything is just awesome. And a guy that if you played him as a slot receiver, he'd probably be like an 84 overall. I'm not entirely sure about that. but he does catch up to Jonathan Stewart in terms of the overall now, and I think it is becoming more and more the case where he is the starting running back here. They're still going to use Stewart a lot, and I still think they're going to need to either go to Cameron Artis-Payne in the future or switch it up and get another true running back. I still don't think Christian McCaffrey is a true 3-down back. I don't think we've seen that yet. Some people still think it's there. We'll see. But I just don't think he has the power to do that. And we got another rookie here, Tre'Davious White, who, by the way, is like an 89 in Madden. I'm just not comfortable raising him that high after a rookie year. We've seen a lot of rookie players break out and then fall back to earth. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Tre'Davious White. Just want to play it a little more conservative here. But an 80 overall for Tre'Davious White now as he goes up +1 this week. A phenomenal player there in Buffalo. Should continue to grow into one of the better corners in the entire league. And then for the Jets, as Muhammad Wilkerson was a healthy scratch this week, he had Javier Cooper, not sure how he pronounces that first name, but he comes in and starts for Muhammad Wilkerson and looked pretty good. I want to say Cooper was a mid-round pick for the Browns a few years ago. Could be wrong about that, but definitely filled in nicely there. So he goes up +5. He was really lowly rated, a free agent pickup throughout the year, finding himself in a starting situation now. Moving over to Philadelphia now. Nick Foles reminding us a little bit of what he used to be, and I'm not going to totally buy into him, getting another contract as a starter. I think he has proven that he is a backup in this league, but definitely giving Eagles fans hope that in a depleted NFL that they might have a chance to go to the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. I still think their season's done. I think Carson Wentz meant a lot more to this team than people are going to admit. I don't think they're going to win a playoff game, but I suppose Nick Foles at least gives you a chance as opposed to starting like a Nate Sudfeld or the things we've seen in the past with like Connor Cook in the playoffs last year. But then also moving up, a lot of movement for the Rams this week. It's kind of the Rams and Jaguars week as they both had big weeks. But Todd Gurley goes up +1. Still not going to be the best running back in the league. It's mainly because he's not as well-rounded quite as much as like David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell. But Todd Gurley, 91 overall. But might just play like the best running back in the league. The speed, acceleration, the strength, the trucking, everything you like to see. This guy is a monster. I think he might actually be my vote for MVP this year, ahead of Tom Brady. I think he means so much to that Rams offense. Just like, honestly, Devonta Freeman meant to the Falcons offense under Kyle Shanahan. I think he went a little underappreciated last year as well. As that entire offense really runs through these running backs who can be tough between the tackles. You can stretch them outside. You can throw them on a seam route up the middle. Really versatile guys that have almost transcended a running back position that is viewed more obsolete in the modern NFL. But these guys, very valuable players. And then how about the offensive line here? You got Rob Havenstein moving up this week +2. So he's a 76 now, really good run blocker. And then Rodger Saffold's been a mainstay here this whole year, really coming back to being one of the better guards. Actually, he used to be a tackle, but got paid to play a guard here, and he's been awesome. And then even on the defensive side of the ball, you had Coleman went up last week, starting to play actual outside corner, but then Troy Hill has come in and been a starter here. He goes up +4 this week. So a big boost to the Rams this week. I didn't check if their team overall went up. I don't even really like the way that Madden computes that, but definitely going to be playing much more like a Super Bowl contender now in your franchise modes. Then as we move over to the Steelers here, Juju Smith-Schuster just kind of has that swag factor that, yeah, it's not that important, but you get to a point where you see a guy catch the ball and do kind of like what Larry Fitzgerald did in the playoffs to clinch an overtime win against the Packers years ago. Catch and run, just really has that I'm going to put this team on my back this play. That's something special. That play was a defining moment for Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm buying all in. He's got those massive Julio Jones-esque arms that the dude's going to be able to create separation and secure tough catches. And he's only 20 years old. I am buying all in on Smith-Schuster here. So he goes up +3, and then on the offensive line for the Steelers, we got Chris Hubbard going up +3. He's been filling in pretty nicely there on the right tackle spot. He's had a few bad games, but some good ones as well. Definitely a guy that you're comfortable starting in a pinch with an injury to a guy like Marcus Gilbert. DeMarcus Lawrence goes up yet again this week, +1. Now, I had this thought today, if the Cowboys make the playoffs, DeMarcus Lawrence could very easily be the defensive MVP this year. This guy has reshaped his body by all accounts. I mean, just looking at the guy, he just looks bigger, faster, stronger. And he's been doing it with basically in the run game, in the pass rush. He's been everything to this defense. And that is the definition of MVP, is it not? And then we had 4 guys getting created this week. So maybe some guys on your teams that you've been missing here get added. So we got Jesse Davis gets created, right guard for the Dolphins. Now, again, there's a limit on how many guys you can create, so I try to edit existing players if I can. Jesse Davis, a 25-year-old rookie. So this might not be completely accurate, but, you know, he's 26 here. I don't think there's really a whole lot there in Jesse Davis, but he's been starting pretty much all year. And then also for Miami, you got the punter, Matt Hack, who's actually been pretty good this year. So he gets created at 77 overall. We already talked about Jaden Mickens. And then one last guy here for the Raiders, linebacker who's been starting for a few weeks in a row now, is going to be Nicholas Morrow. And he's more of a cover linebacker, a guy they move around in their scheme. But should be a fun guy to play with, pretty athletic, but a little undersized as well at the linebacker position. And we just got 5 fallers here to talk about. We'll stay here in Oakland. Derek Carr, it's time to lower him. And, you know, I was pretty low on Carr going into the year, so that's kind of why he didn't really get touched this year. That was just, you know, to toot my own horn a little bit, that was just another quarterback here, you know, along with Matt Ryan and some other guys, Marcus Mariota, that I was really low on going into this year. You know, Derek Carr is just a check down machine, and he hasn't really won any big games this year. He hasn't looked exceptional to me on film. He's still going to be a top 10 quarterback here. But right on the boundary now, and much closer to a guy like Mariota than he is to even like Matthew Stafford now. Got a few guys falling for the Steelers this week. At the safety position, Sean Davis was exposed, and he's been pretty bad all year. So he goes down -2. The tight end position, remember this team traded for Vance McDonald a while ago? Well, he had been rated higher than Jesse James for the course of the season, basically just waiting on McDonald to take that starting job. Never did, and he is officially the backup here. So he comes down -4. Jesse James, the higher-rated tight end here now. And then we got some guys over in New York for both the Jets and the Giants. For the Giants, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, who really, I'm not going to say broke out last year. He's always been a pretty good player, but he's been very quiet this year, been just kind of another guy in the defense. So he comes down from a high rating that had really persisted from last year. So from 89 to an 84, so -4 this week. And then for the Jets, our last guy here, Brian Winters, the right guard. Got a decent contract last year, but has really struggled according to PFF ratings. So Winters is going to come down 3. And that does it for the update this week. Let me know your thoughts on the changes and the players that have moved. Do like the video if you enjoyed, and have a very happy holidays. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.